And oh, I've got someone who's helping. And it will then go online on our website. So if you keep your image on at the moment, that will then go on the website as well. And if you're happy to share your contact details, please put them in the chat. Again, these will be added to the website, which will help linking between people. But if you don't want your contact details on the website, then obviously don't share them if you don't want to. I'll pass over to our CEO, Stuart Brown.
Thanks, Dorothea. A very warm welcome to this Scotland Malawi Partnership new members forum. The SMP is a membership network which exists to support, connect and represent the many dignified people-to-people links that exist between the two nations. Our Malawi-based sister organisation is the Malawi Scotland Partnership, or MASP. If you haven't already, I would encourage you to sign up to our free weekly online newsletter and to visit our website where all information goes. On the events page of our website, you'll find information on forthcoming activities, and the past events page has time-stamped videos where you can quickly jump to sections of events which interest you most. You're welcome to anything and everything that we do. We aim to be Malawi-led and member-led, with a membership of around 1,000, a board of 15 volunteer trustees, each with their own Malawi link, volunteer committees in HR and safeguarding and audit and finance, and a staff team of 6 committed, experienced people. Our aim today is to have a really informal chat for new members to introduce themselves to one another and to existing members. And towards that, let me pass to my colleague Chad to introduce himself.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us and welcome to the SMP. I'm Chad Morse. I'm the Deputy CEO here at the Scotland Malawi Partnership. And as we realized a few days ago, I think I've been here for 3 years now. Started in August about 3 years ago. I previously lived and worked in Blantyre, Malawi for 20 years, from 2000 to 2020, exclusively really based at Phoenix School, an independent primary school, where I was a Year 5 teacher and laterally the head teacher for several years before moving to Scotland. So that's my connections with Malawi, amongst others. At the SMP, I'm primarily responsible, or try to lead along with the team that we have, like we said, working all together on our events and the many different forum events and other meetings that we host. So currently looking into the autumn, we're busy programming a health forum, a further and higher education forum, renewables forum, and we have other forums throughout the year. We had a WASH forum back in April. A couple new events that we're planning for this programming year is our Anthropomodzi photo exhibits, which we're happy to share that the first one will be held on the weekend of the, I want to say 13th, 14th of September in Killearn at the Village Kirk Hall there. So please come along. Those will be submissions from lots of members who have given photographs, and we're looking forward to our first one, and that will be a roaming and rotating photo exhibit that will go to different parts. We're in collaborations with Inverleithen and Aberdeenshire and other venues in the coming year. We'll be moving that photo exhibit around. But also, this being our 20th year of the Scotland Malawi Partnership, we're also looking forward to this year's annual gathering, which will be held on Saturday, the 25th of October at Strathclyde University. So we've had to kind of hold the date in our newsletters in the last couple of weeks, and we're putting together that program as we speak. So we're looking forward to that day. Big, great gathering of all members on an annual basis, as it implies, and we're looking forward to seeing you all there, if not beforehand. The other bit that I sometimes am asked to support with is our members, yourselves. If you have Malawi colleagues that are visiting the UK, visiting Scotland, we're in a position that we can provide support letters to the UKVI to support those applications, which thankfully have always been well received. So I've had to go through this process myself, coming to the UK, being American, and processing my spousal visa. So I can very much appreciate that the process is not always very straightforward or clear. So please get in contact with us if you have any partners or guests coming over to the UK, and I can try to help you with that process, but well in advance. Good 3 months beforehand is a good starting point. It is they've been relatively smooth as of late, but it's always good to get an early start on that. Let me hand over to Mitch, our Youth and Schools Officer.
Morning, everyone. My name's Ian Mitchell, although most people know me as Mitch. I was a secondary teacher in Fife for over 30 years, and my last school I was at had a very strong Malawi link with 2 primary schools out there. I'm just back from visiting them for the first time since COVID. We were out there for the end of June, beginning of July. My role is primarily to engage with younger people, anything from nurseries through to students to university, particularly looking at school visits, raising awareness of the Sustainable Development Goals and their effect throughout the world, but obviously particularly with a sort of Malawi-Scotland comparison. If any of the schools are interested then in perhaps producing a link or having a partnership, I can facilitate that through our sister organisation MASP that was mentioned earlier. But also in my role, I liaise with other educational agencies, Education Scotland, local authorities, ScotDec, WASDec, and whatever else that are also trying to enhance young people's understanding of what's around them. So I'll now pass on to Naseem. Thank you.
Thanks, Mitch. Good morning, everyone. My name is Naseem, as you have heard. I'm the Communications and Engagements Officer at the SMP, and I am from Malawi, born, raised in Malawi. I came here for university and then adopted by the SMP. So I am trying to learn the culture here as well in Scotland, which is really amazing. And I love the people. I love the people, the team I work with as well. And my role mainly is to amplify the voices of the members and to keep our members engaged in the work that they're doing. So I do that through the newsletters. We do weekly newsletters. If you have not signed up yet, you can always do that on our website. And if you have any issues, I'm always here to assist. I will put my email address in the chat box just for communication's sake. So in terms of amplifying members' news, I'm always happy to receive anything that you'd want people to know what you're doing in Malawi, or if you have any projects that are related to your project that involve Malawi as well and Scotland. I'm always happy to share in the newsletter and on our social media pages as well. Yeah, and I also support the whole team in terms of our events when the events are happening, like with the photo exhibition that is also coming up. I do promotions as well for that on the socials and in the newsletter. With that, I will pass it on to Dorothea. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As I said before, I'm the membership and administration officer here. Some of the benefits of membership, maybe just to we do have a sort of a big membership section on our website, so you can look it up yourselves. But just a few things Naseem mentioned already. Through our website, you actually have the possibility of having your own web page. And often if we do Google somebody's name with Malawi, it's the one that comes up. It's the first hit that comes up. So which might be very useful. And we also have training opportunities. We aim to have beginners Chichewa classes at least once a year, but are also open to any suggestions from members for anything else that you might like training in and that we might be able to facilitate or provide ourselves. Also to mention, at the last AGM, for example, we had a sort of fundraising fundamentals session, and we're hoping to provide a similar sort of training, not in fundraising, but a similar training opportunity at our upcoming AGM, but we'll let you know in due course. Naseem mentioned the promotion. Obviously, that it can always be good for members to have promotion through our newsletter or a new members blog. We also have pop-up exhibition materials that includes banners. One is just partnership, spelling out partnership and the various what the various letters might stand for in that, and also the 17 banners for the Sustainable Development Goals. We also have bunting and flags for Scotland and Malawi flags. As well as the website, and Mitch are able to provide quite a few educational resources as well. I'll now want to invite you all to give a quick introduction of yourselves to the group. So I'll just go over my screen and I'll start with Amy, please, if you could introduce yourself. Thank you.
Hi, hello everybody. I recognise some faces, so nice to be in the Malawi gang again. So I've been involved, I guess, with Malawi links for about 7 years. Firstly, with an organisation called the International Voluntary Service. So we provided was exchange of volunteers in various different countries, but Malawi was one of the focal countries of the International Voluntary Service. And I then went to Classrooms for Malawi and was chief executive there for about 3 years. So I was heavily involved in education, school construction, school group, exchange participation, similar to Mitch that Mitch talked about. And then I co-founded about 18 months ago an organisation called Fair Trade Electives with John Dowell, who I think came along to the last members meeting. So you should have met with John. So the purpose of that organisation is to try to address the unfair and slightly inequitable current model for electives in the Global South. And we have partners in Malawi, also in Zambia, Rwanda and Nepal. And this is for medical students who are going to be participating in an elective. So we've got links with 7 UK universities, including Dundee, Cambridge, Leeds, Sheffield, King's College. And what they are doing is agreeing to recommend to their students that if they want to do a medical elective in the Global South, that they come through this organisation, Fair Trade Electives. So I'll put the link into the chat for you. But we have 2 partners in Malawi. One is Nkoma Hospital, and the other one is through Medic to Medic, so with Tamsin. So I'm sure some of you will have met with Tamsin before. So we've got students already going out to Malawi. We've got a couple there just now. We've just had a bunch that have come back. And we're starting to promote the electives as of now. So now the students are going back to university. So it'd be cool to be back involved with everybody, and I'll share, I'm sure, as we progress with our membership, I'm sure you'll find out more about what we're doing. But I'll put the link in the chat, and I don't want to take up too much time because we've got to get around everybody. But lovely to see you all, and I'll chat with you all soon. Do you want me to pass on, Dorothea, or are you going to do that?
It's all right, thank you. I have 2 questions to ask, so I think you answered them anyway, but
cool.
Actually what I'm asking anybody when you introduce yourself, if you could tell us what you're hoping to gain from the SMP membership and what connections you hope to make. But I think, Amy, you answered those questions. So
perfect.
I'll
Okay.
pass on to Kevin, please, on my screen.
Hi, I'm Kevin. Very interested in what Amy was saying, since my daughter several years ago did her medical elective in Malawi. So I'm with Malawi Fruits. We support farmers in the northern region, taking a whole market chain approach. So we help farmers to select the best seeds. We provide farming technology, which is solar water pumps, polytunnels and similar technologies that help to improve yields. And then we connect the farmers to market. In many cases, we're actually buying the produce from them so that before they even put a seed in the ground, they know that their product is sold. And through these various interventions, we're able to push up household incomes at least double, but up to 6-fold, just depending on the performance of different farmers. So we're doing that at a reasonable scale. We have 500 women farming in the polytunnels and 800 farmers working with solar-powered irrigation. So it adds up to a large tonnage of vegetables that are produced, and obviously that has some impact for food security, but particularly for household incomes. So that's what well, I should say my main purpose in being a member of SMP is to network with other people doing similar related work, and that tends to be a very two-way thing. So we've learned some lessons along the way that we're happy to share with whoever wants to listen, and we're pretty good listeners as well. So we like to learn from other partners, and over the years it's been hugely beneficial to us. I should probably say I'm a trustee, a director of SMP as well. I have been for about 18 months now. Thanks.
Thank you, Kevin. Yeah, as we said before, maybe this is obviously this is a new members forum, but we also invite this is for new and existing members to sort of meet each other. So we have a good mix. So the next person I'd like to invite to speak is Hannah, please.
Hi, good morning. My name is Hannah Gibson. My connection with Malawi is that I lived and worked there for over 4 years, 2017 until 2021. So I was there during the COVID pandemic and all the various waves. At that time, I was working for an international health organization that had large programs across the country in all 13 districts, focusing on maternal health, HIV prevention, as well as care and treatment. And I was based in Lilongwe, but traveled extensively across the country. I came back to the UK, or to Edinburgh, in middle of 2021, as I said, and since then continued working for the same organization, but doing proposal development, and was able to work remotely. And then all that changed when Trump decided to cut all the foreign assistance. So I was, I guess, like my reasons, I've been engaged with the SMP since I came back, you know, getting the newsletters, but now that I am out of work and trying to make connections and network, and also have some time on my hands. I just want to kind of like, you know, solidify that relationship that I have with SMP, maintain those Malawi relations. I still have many friends still in Malawi, and you know, it's always going to be a part of who I am, my kids' life story. And if there are any opportunities that I can bring to assist with areas such as business development, proposal development, that would be something that I would be happy to offer my time as much as feasible. Thank you.
Thank you, Hannah, for sharing. And yeah, difficult situation to be in, and to see how Trump's reach is everywhere, unfortunately. Could I ask Janet to speak next, please?
Hi, folks. The word Trump just makes me feel like I'm going to go red like a cartoon all the way up. So I'm just recovering from that, Dorothea. So I'm really sorry to hear about your situation, Hannah. That's a terrible situation to be in. So I'm Janet. I am, my connection to Malawi goes back about 11 years now. I went there to visit my friend who worked out there for a very well-known Scottish charity. And I was then introduced to Malawians, and from then I've been supporting young people in education. Some young people have been getting support through secondary school, as we would call it here, and then onto university / college, wherever they've been. So I have been to and fro. I've been following Scotland Malawi Partnership for a long time. Obviously, I've been getting the newsletters for a long time. And I actually recently got an email from Chad. And that was good timing, Chad, because I was just discussing with somebody last week, and then Chad emailed me. So I've literally just joined, and I just want to build networks and hear about what other people are doing. There are people doing similar work, you know, and I've been sending stuff over there like scholarship opportunities for young people in Malawi that they could maybe come to Scotland and things like that. So I'm just looking to build up my network around people who are interested in or have strong connection and do work around Malawi.
Thank you, Janet. That's all very interesting. And I'm looking around the room and trying to see who I should put next, so we have a bit of a connection. So I'm going to invite Sally just because of the education bit.
Thanks, Dorothea. As usual, my IT skills are not great, so I've swapped computers and hopefully this works. I'm work at George Watson's College, have done for 20 plus years. I've just got a small role just now. The main part of it is organising as co-leader of the school trip to Malawi. We go each year with 40 plus pupils. It'll be our 12th trip this October. We try and organise it. We do organise it ourselves really to keep the costs down as much as possible for the pupils. And they raise some money as well for all our various partners in Malawi. We've got them between a real selection that we've sort of built up over the years. A few schools, a couple of schools up at the lake predominantly. We work with Malanje Conservation and Zomba Reforestation. A few small clinics, and we support a number of sports teams, netball and football. Predominantly in Lilongwe, but we're trying hard to get netball posts put up as many schools as we possibly can. Really interested to just network and interested to hear about the medical electives and also the scholarships. In fact, lots of different things that you've talked about already are really of great interest to us. So happy to help anybody and happy to always help Mitch. If other schools are interested in partnerships or organising their own trips. I think that's about all, Dorothea.
Not sure if you mentioned, but Sally also is a member of our board. She's a trustee.
Okay, yes, okay.
Could I ask Carol to please introduce yourself to the group? Thank you.
Hi, folks. My name's Carol Finlay. I've been working with the Church of Scotland for a very long time, and from 1991 to 2001 I worked in Ekwendeni Hospital in Malawi, where I started the general nurse training in a place that had midwifery for 50 years and had to either update to a full training school or lose their midwifery. So the general nursing school was my baby, and I built it up, and both the buildings and the staff in the hospital and also the staff in the nursing school, until we had 5 Malawian trained tutors, and I was able to step back and leave in 2001. And from 2001 until this year, I worked in the Church of Scotland head office in Edinburgh, and I was the person who linked our partner churches throughout the world with Scotland, and worked with a lot of congregations and other organisations in Scotland. And Malawi, of course, is one of our oldest and biggest partnerships that we have, including, well, it's the CCAP that we partnership with, the Church of Central Africa Presbyterian. So I've been very involved in Scotland Malawi Partnership in different ways over the years, from the very first meeting, which happened to discuss the possibility of setting up the partnership. And through my work, I've been back to Malawi since 2001 many, many times, and also personally for various reasons. I've just retired, and so I've just joined as an individual rather than being part of an organisation. And so I think that's why I got the invitation today, Dorothea. So I feel a bit of a fraud coming to a new members because I feel as if I know the partnership very well. So yeah, just seeking out what I'm going to do in my retirement. I'm not going to dive into too much, but of course my links with Malawi are strong. My name's Nyagondwe actually, because I'm from the north and it's one of the northern clans, and that was the name I was given in Malawi. And one thing I would suggest to you is that maybe sometimes a wee bit more focus on Tumbuka as well as Chichewa. So Chitumbuka, for those of us that go to the north, would be a great thing to do occasionally. But yeah, well, we'll see where the future takes me, and look forward to continuing engaging with you and engaging with some of the organisations. I see people on the call that I know very well. And yeah, I just want to say thanks to the Scotland Malawi Partnership for a lot of help that they gave us, particularly on the visa section for visitors coming to the Church of Scotland over the years. That has been extremely helpful. So yeah, so we'll see where life goes from here with me, but I'll continue to walk with you.
Thank you, Carol. And you're obviously a new and existing member in one person, which is probably quite rare. Could I ask Charles, please, to introduce yourself to the group? Thank you.
Thank you so much. My name is Charles Lehman Kachitsa, born in Malawi, Blantyre, coincidentally, as Blantyre is named after the city in Scotland. I am currently based in Manchester, in England. I've been here since 2003. I'm not a new member. I have been with SMP for the last 3 years. However, I've not attended a forum like this one, so I'm learning a lot, hearing from all what you have said. In terms of involvement with SMP, I first got involved through an organization called the Apostolic Order of St. Adrian, which is a research and education institution. And our focus with that organization was on trying to harmonize the current practices of people living in Manchester in terms of whether they have changed their ways of life. And in that realm, we had a project that we are looking at marriage practices for people whose roots are Malawi, or those who have married Malawian people, as to whether they still continue practicing the Malawian cultural practices. So I got interested with SMP because I noticed that it has got a lot of links in Malawi, and also in terms of news. Sometimes if you go on the SMP website, you get current news than elsewhere. So I thought it would be very ideal to get connected with SMP. Currently, I'm still involved with St. Adrian, but I'm also involved with another organization called the Israel Africa Partnership. So I do believe in terms of benefits that will benefit a lot through SMP on both organization, in terms of collaboration and just networking. So I'm excited that there is a lot that is happening, and also learning new things on what I can get for the organization that I work for through SMP. Career-wise, I am a business consultant and lecturer current director at Leeds Trinity University, apart from my charity work. Thank you.
Thank you, Charles. Very helpful. To go back to Carol, actually, I just wanted to say about the Mtumbuka lessons. If we find enough interest and if we find a teacher, we will be very happy to offer that. But I think we haven't had enough interest, and I'm not too sure if our teachers are as fluent in Mtumbuka as they are in Chichewa. And for the news, obviously, our newsletter has also lots of news. I take it you already subscribed, Charles. If not, then not just our website, but also our newsletter is a weekly update on news. And when I had the privilege of going to Malawi this Easter, I realized that a lot of the things that people were telling us about their news, I knew already because of our newsletter. So we definitely seem to be very well informed, or have managed to get the information that is also around in Malawi. Can I invite Roger to introduce yourself, please?
Hello, I'm Roger. Dorothy, nod your head if you can hear me. Dorothea? Good. I'm in Jedburgh. My claim to fame is I've been a Wikipedian for 10 years, mostly increasing the profile of women around the world. We created 250,000 biographies of women. Coming up to the end of my 10 years, I looked around and thought, where would be an interesting place to actually focus on? And Malawi has got a very low profile on the internet. I'm aware of the problems that girls have with education in Malawi. If they decide to get themselves a mobile phone or get themselves a laptop, they can go on there and find out that their town isn't on the map. It isn't on Wikipedia. Their netball players aren't on Wikipedia. Their MPs aren't on Wikipedia. The village's church isn't on Wikipedia. It is the most important educational resource in the world, and it seems to me that it should be important that we should have that same kind of profile on this important resource. The SNP have been very useful to us. The SNP and the MSP have changed their licensing so that all their images can be used. And as a result, we've written 50 biographies of women who are either in Malawi or are associated with Malawi. That's a hell of a difference because there's not only a few hundred women who actually are what's called notable, actually on the subject of and can be seen on Wikipedia. You may not have an article on Wikipedia, I don't, but the chance of you having one if you're in Malawi is about 1% compared with if you're in the UK. So when those girls are looking on their mobile phones and trying to find role models, they're going to find role models who are British and American and European. What we want them to see is successful Malawian women who they can realize that there is a way to have a career that maybe doesn't involve an early marriage. I'd be very interested in talking to other small organizations. People have said that they've got time to spare. People have said that they're interested in netball players. People are interested in the church. The key to it, usually on a website, you'll see in the bottom left-hand corner, it says copyright. That means nobody is actually allowed to use those images, which means that a site like Wikipedia cannot include all the MPs, cannot include the photographs of all the netball players because we haven't got the photographs. I suspect there's people here who've got photographs, but you need to learn how to release them with an open license. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for listening. Thank you, Dorothea.
Thank you, Roger, and good to know that if any of you want further information on how to maybe have your pictures on Wikipedia, I'm sure Roger would be happy to help and assist with that. Roger mentioned MASP. MASP is our sister organisation, the Malawi Scotland Partnership in Malawi. And they obviously we're together with them. We're sort of two sides of a coin. Last but not least, could I invite Jeremy to speak, please? Thank you.
Thanks, Dorothea. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm in Malawi, and I've been keeping my camera off because the Wi-Fi signal here is slightly dodgy. So I'm now in my second term as a trustee, and I'm currently chair of the Board of Trustees. My links with Malawi go back to a meeting in 2016 at the University of Glasgow with Mopatso Mapando, who was then the principal of the College of Medicine. And we began discussions about the possibility of establishing a Bachelor of Dental Surgery degree at the College of Medicine, what is now Kamuzu University of Health Sciences. And through Scottish funding, from the Scottish Government funding, we set up that programme, which launched in 2019, and we had the first ever graduates, homegrown dentists, if you like, in April this year. So that was one milestone. The other thing that's going on at the moment here, which is exciting for us, is that there is a brand new dental school building and student hub going up on the campus here in Blantyre, funded by the World Bank. The design was funded by Scottish Government. And that's due to be finished within about the next 18 months. So that's largely what I've been doing. And at the moment, I spend, in effect, 6 months a year here at CUHES and 6 months in Scotland. I was very keen to become a trustee and to get involved with the Scotland Malawi Partnership, because ever since we started, it has been a fantastic networking organisation, not just for myself, but also my colleagues here in Malawi. We've also linked in with the various meetings that MASP run. So I think it's a fantastic way of getting in touch with not just like-minded people, but people with similar interests. A word of warning to Carol, if you've just retired. Yeah, I just retired 4 years ago. And here I am, probably working harder than I ever worked at the University of Glasgow. So be careful what you dive into in retirement, but have a lovely retirement. I think that's enough from me, Dorothea. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jeremy. And just to remind you that if you want to hear more about this first dental school being built, our cross-party group on the 17th of September in the Scottish Parliament and online will have that as its subject. It will then be followed by another CPG, which will speak about 500 miles, which is another one of our members, which is also very interesting. That's on the 7th of October. But all our events, our upcoming events, are on the website. I think we have shared the link in the chat, and it's well worth checking out the upcoming events. There may be something that you're interested in. Everything is usually recorded and is put online afterwards. So even if you're missing it, you can always catch up by watching it again on the website. Is there anything else from anybody in the room you want to add? If not, I just wanted to reiterate, please do update your profiles on the website. It's really helpful for us to have that information, but it's even more important for other members, because they can filter our membership by areas, say health. So you will come up, and it would be very helpful if what's written there gives a good impression of what it is you do, or what you're linked with. You can even add any of the development goals that you have, sustainable development goals that you're trying to reach, and all these other things. So that the more colourful your profile is, the better it will be, and the nicer it will be for others to see what it is you do. And don't hesitate to get in touch with us with any suggestions or queries, ideas of training, etc. Janet, sorry, you've got your hand up.
Thanks, Dorothea. I was just wondering if we have any Do you have any like Q&A stuff where people can ask questions? Is there anything like that on the website where people can ask questions about things in Malawi that other people might have experienced, and they can kind of get that feedback?
We don't necessarily, I mean, we may have it on the website just by you looking for some sort of words, and you may find, I mean, it will come back with sort of, it's the search function is then subdivided into 4 sort of categories. But if it is something that you want to know, just get in touch with us, any of us, or the info@scotlandmalawipartnership.org, and we will get back to you with either responses we've got in our heads or in the group, or that we can actually link you to the website with as well.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else wanting to add a final word from the team?
No, just reiterate what Dorothea said. The website is actually quite comprehensive, and I appreciate that for first time we're looking at it, there's a lot of information, but try to utilize the search engine. We've tried to improve the searching so that you can find, because, you know, for us as working at the SMP, to me, it's a great archive to be able to share links with members, because it probably is there, but it's sometimes not easy to find. But we're very happy to receive emails and queries or anything else too. So we like rabbit holes.
Is there, I can't remember on the website, is there a place for like a separate members area for chatting to the different members, or is it through contact?
No, at the moment there's not like an interactive notice board or anything like that. It's a good suggestion. We can think about using that. I think in the past, and probably Stuart can speak to it better than me, we've tried to manage things like Facebook groups and stuff, but obviously it's hard to manage and maintain, and security reasons and so forth and other things. So something we can talk with our web developers who kind of, help develop our web page, if there was maybe like you say, like a notice board kind of space or something. But
just in case there was things to ping in. But I'm sure your web developer will be delighted with that suggestion. Like, please please don't go to those meetings again if people are going to suggest that.
We're really happy to put things in the newsletter as well, if anybody has a specific query, something that they'd like to offer or ask one another. And Janet, just to put you in touch with people as well for a chat on any particular areas in an informal way. So yeah, don't ever hesitate to be in touch. There's always going to be somebody who's been down that road already, or would be grateful for pointers from you. And it's very much about sharing kind of lessons learned and experience, and asking for a bit of support as well.
Well, then, thank you very much for everybody joining us today, and hope you found this helpful and informative. And it's been great meeting you. It's always good to sort of see faces and put faces to names. And I hope that you've been able to establish any connections. And as we said, maybe we can help you make more connections, further connections, and hope to see you all at the upcoming AGM, if not before. And have a good afternoon.
Thank you. Good
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone. Bye.
Bye.